Hey, RetconRaider here. Today's video is dedicated to the Raiders, the fine folks who help make these videos possible. With special thanks to Revenant, Alois, Anerdinwarpaint, Dragon Matrix 7, Exsellsior, Gottlieb, Kazorm, Lima, Nathan Welch Jr., Tomasz Piątkowski, Triphoppenskip, and Valinrook. Thanks for your support, guys. That said, let's get started. Hello, Ellie. And welcome back to Wildermyth. As the story continues, we're just into Chapter 3, and we're facing a pending apocalypse as the world drowns. So, just another Tuesday. So just like last time, we're effectively under a time limit, but this time it's a softer time limit. There's nothing we can do to stop the terrain from flooding, but flooded tiles can still be crossed. They just won't produce resources for the final battle, which means it may deprive us of some last-minute upgrades, but that's about it. That said, let's get our new recruits, Rangar and Drakiith, on defense duty, and then our main party will start clearing out these last few tiles. We've also got a personal quest in the mix, but we'll worry about that once we've cleared this first chain. Sabausa Waterworks. An ancient and immense grove soars at the heart of Finnegian cedars. Great sequoias shoulder up to towering redwoods. Thick-grown cedars mob their knees. It's the same thing we saw before, I'm sure of it. I remember it well. They spotted it that morning. The apparition is familiar to Ghislaine and Retcon. From a mist-drenched night, many years gone. Moments like this are why I aspire to poetry. And moments like this are when poetry fails. I heard locals call him Lord Evergreen. Forward quietly, you two. They move into the flowing fog. The earth holds its breath. Dampness heavies their eyelids, darkens their hair. Smears of silver shine on trunks, roots, and stones. They stumble and feel a path over rocks and wrecks, chasing the giant through its noise-barren world. To walk enshrouded everywhere you go, it's an enviable power. Oh, I think it's stopped. It has stopped. Think he's aware of us? Now it turns about, somehow finding space, high and mostly hidden in haze. Its face must hang above them. Are we in trouble? You? With bending bark sounds, creaky hips, folding legs, it gently lowers itself, fitting its bulk to attractive, treeless ground. Be ready if it... They're caught in its eyeless gaze, and a silence that grows and twists, grotesquely long. It could crush them, that fact is certain as the soil. Stomachs harden, innards clench, muscles coil. Well, tiny pinecone friend, I have only briefly had you, but I suppose this is where you belong. A shame we never did get to enjoy those benefits. Retcon knows suddenly that this is right. you're better than most people, you know that? Wasn't bad having you around. But here's who you came from, and he's a lonely being. You? Your father wants you, can teach you all your life. I've still got my companions. I'll be glad to know you're walking the world in safety and in power. This little girl will be your inheritor, won't she? Yoom! Perhaps in response, the mist thickens round them, spirals tight as white, spooling yarn. Then an image flashes into their minds. Lands of long ago, the air aswirl with smoke and cinders. Silence, as the trees die. Quake-deep silence, cracked with bark splits, sap spits, and fire. Only one young sequoia outlasts the inferno. You have been lonesome, haven't you? A resonance fills Retcon's body. Suddenly, a calm and strengthening wish of wellness emanated from this ancient being that he swallows into his soul. +1 health. And then, Lord Evergreen appears ready to be off. Goodbye, little cone. I'll see you, I hope, someday. Yoom! It leaps to a happy perch on its father's shoulder. The giant stands once more. And goes. Adjustments are part of what we do anyway. Come on, we have to worry about our own skins. They make their way out of the woods. Noise wakes around them. It's a lonely task he's got. I'll think about it often. Something else we're protecting. Generations will pass, quiet and slow. But not so lonely. I love that. Oh, deepest. I don't think we've fought these guys before. Horn children. Talking in cracks and crumbles, viciously throwing itself at whatever it sees. Woken fighters. A shuffling walk, gummy, grunting mouth, heavy sword, held firm. Merc Mother. She growls and mutters and thumbs her markings, naming her numberless children. Mushrocks. Whole body grinding together like a slate stack. Fungus wreathes it in fumes of decay. The Chosen. Deep chanting voice echoes as its girth goes bowling through the bodies of its lessers. And Woken Slingers, who don't get a description because they've been upgraded too many times. Good for them. Ooh, and a water spirit. Fantastic. I think Lula could use a nice enchant on her bow. Given what she's pulled from the RNG so far. I'm really seeing her as like an aquatic avian type. Also, as a side note, I have gotten a few comments about how easy these fights have been, and I actually do agree. But at the same time, it's important to remember this is a glorified tutorial scenario. And I'm also halfway decent at this game. I wouldn't say I'm an expert, but I have played it enough to have a general idea of what I'm doing. That said, given that we are looking at least one more potential campaign, the Enduring War, which comes after this one, I'll crank the difficulty up to max on that. Which I'm sure I'll regret, but we'll see how it goes. I think we're good with these guys. We'll just have Lula grab that spirit. One enchanted bow. No strings attached. Water enchants are pretty fantastic. They refund an action point every time you strike a killing blow. The downside being less overall crit damage. Yeah, that wasn't too bad. I was hoping the other warrior would go for Ghislaine. The difficulty balance in this game is kind of a slippery slope situation. You're fine as long as you're at the top, as long as your guys are in perfect shape. Which is why I try to so aggressively trim enemies before they can actually attack. Aside from the Grimblade, and that one special aid ability, which we don't have, there's no real combat healing. So once things start going south, they tend to snowball very quickly. They also just did a very heavy combat rebalance, and I'm not sure where everything's landed just yet. Now see, this gal does magic damage. She could easily cripple anyone but Rhett. So she would be an immediate priority target. The Horned Children, on the other hand, are your basic rank and file speed bumps. High defense, but low health and damage. They're mostly just there to try to keep you from getting to those high priority targets. Right, we haven't taken out the Chosen yet. That is not a Chosen. That's another speed bump. Now let's see, these guys are currently relatively low threat because they're not the focus of the campaign. So they haven't really accrued much in the way of upgrade cards. But eventually, in an actual deepest campaign, they would be appearing in larger numbers, they'd have better defenses, they would hobble on hit to prevent you from moving around much after even their minimum damage attacks. And even worse, the Merc Mothers would usually be positioned behind them, essentially spawning even more Horned Children to continue wearing you down. These guys, on the other hand, are essentially the polar opposite. They're heavy hitters with low defense, but high health pools. They also go berserk as they start soaking damage, so if you don't take one down, they will hit you even harder until you do. Let's go for inspiration. Mythweaver is tempting, but we're not going to get much use out of it at this point. Besides, I do like the idea of Rhett being a dedicated support tank. I might grab Mythweaver if it pops up again, though. Spectral Lantern, which provides magic defense. And Trip has an open offhand. Not a bad day's work, lighter on the spoils than I might have liked, but a growing reputation has its own values. More importantly, the people of Sabausa Waterworks can rest easy now. They're free from... Fraley! Oh, Fraley, Fraley, my darling daughter, you've come back to me! Lula, do you know this? No, I've never... Don't be silly, I haven't grown that old in all the years you've been away. So, I take it you're not Fraley? No, who is this man? We don't know. He turned up here one day, weeping and wailing. We think his village may have been destroyed, or Thrixel have been in his head, or both. He couldn't tell us anything except his name, Rick, and that he's waiting for his daughter, Fraley, to come home. We cared for him as well as we could, and hoped his family would find him someday. It's too bad you're not really his Fraley. Lula, this man has no claim upon you. You needn't spend your precious moments of free time shoring up this delusion. Oh. Yeah. Trip's right. A lie born of pity is still a lie. Look at me more closely, Rick. I'm not Fraley. I'm sorry. No, you're not, are you? I'll keep waiting until Fraley comes home. It's all right. You go on. We can take care of him. Well, maybe that wasn't the best choice, but we've already got a lot on our plate without adopting strays. I should have gone with the other one, but what are you going to do? Alright, well, let's keep the main party moving, and we'll have Drakiith and Rangar moving up behind us, securing and defending. Dirkland Windmill. Some kind of basement over here. A basement? Hurry, who knows how long it'll stick around. They've been late all day, late rising, late on the trail, late to recognize sunset, and late spotting this ruin. It's the remains of a smallish structure, splayed and molding in a starlit clearing. Retcon? I wonder who lived here, who fell in love here. This place was something once. Wonder who died here. Pretty cramped for a fire, guys. Someone worked at this table. Knife lines, stains of sediment. Ash on the floor? It's chalk. What are these hash marks? And what's in this box? Remember there's that verse in Opal Night? when Spira comes to the Umber Ladies' Hall? Past the open portal, shadows packed like ravens plumed, dimming all discovery, sharply dark and darkness doomed. Spira's sparklight shimmered spent, snuffed, dispelled, left all engloomed. Ellie? This place isn't like that, I guess, but nowhere's poem perfect. So, do you see anything we could use? The box is puzzle locked. One of those magic puzzle locks. Oh, is it words or numbers? Words. Thank all gods. Remind me how these function? Bygone generations were bonkers for these things. Puzzle locks. Lockwords, they called them. The words or phrases that'd spring the box open. The magic lock presents a prompt, with a clear slate to write an answer. The wise wanderer finds home where... Probably someone's head in there. Bleh. Well, air's turning out better than I thought. Could cook dinner and make a night of it? Jot some guesses? We've still got those wild peppers, don't we? Do we? I hope not. They haul their gear down the slippery stairs. Trip digs around in the clogged chimney pipe, letting more smoke out. Secretly likes Lula's cooking, so takes his time. Retcon discovers an old book of Thnaric prophecy. It's something to stare at. Lula toils over an alright stew, not sparing the seasoning much thought. They shout and scribble guesses in the meantime. Who comes up with the correct Lockwords? The wise wanderer finds home where... Where only the dead may go. That was really it? You don't deserve that. Here you are, searched up and down. Our scouting trip got cut short. Gorgons are closing in. Come on. At least he found us. Whoops. Oh, Trip, what's in my box? Looks like some odds and ends. Might be something worthwhile. Of course there is. It's my box. Belt of Chivalry, plus armor. We've also got a warning that Ghislaine is reaching retirement age. Not that it really matters in this case, because the age of Ulstryx is only 3 chapters long. But you know what? We'll toss the belt to him. Don't want the old man falling behind. Looks pretty standard. Okay, let's crack the door. See what's in the first room. Hi there. We'll just hold at the door. There might be more lurking just out of sight. Into the shadows. Row. Those guys are obviously the rank-and-file cannon fodder of the Gorgon faction. And then the raccoons are also the rank-and-file range unit of the Gorgon faction. They're individually fragile, but in both cases they eventually start appearing in greater and greater numbers. and they can be very dangerous if you get your armor stripped off, because then they can still hit you pretty hard. The Bogmore, though, that one's a weird one. I guess it fits into the same category as the Chosen from the Deepest faction. Low defense, high health, but it doesn't hit as hard. Instead, it has that tongue move, where it grabs your units and pulls them into exposed positions. So less about raw damage, and more about breaking your walling and pulling units into compromised positions. Oh yeah, see? That took off half of Gisling's armor, so he is now much more vulnerable to subsequent attacks. We've also got a Bartop just off to the right. I'm not entirely familiar with them. I think they added them in one of the later patches. But the initial impression I get is that they're a mid-tier, chonky, ranged tank. Like the Merc Mother, they have magic-based attacks, so they can pierce right through conventional armor. Oh, and then also earlier we saw that they can set cannon fodder units to explode. Risky play, but let's push up. Yeah, not the best move, but we'll live. Stormflint Cloak, plus potency. Which will go to Rep, because he is our primary caster. Alright, we'll secure this last territory here, then we'll do Gisling's thing. Stagron. Those are chonky melee units that also spawn additional row. We'll just block that. Oof, that's 2 territories down already. Okay, you two just sit tight. Buck Forest, Edkin Beacon. Might get some more wood for the fire. You're gonna be up longer? Trip's already turning in. Mm-hmm. It must be tiring, you know, being Trip. Someone's gotta be Trip. Might as well be Trip. Anyway, want company? Don't feel obliged. The fire and I have plenty to discuss. More wood. Oh, thanks. The fire wriggles through the fresh wood, happy as a mud dog. Lula's eyes grow tired. She begins to see things. Flickerings from Edkin Beacon. Lula watches a story take shape. In Edkin Beacon, there lived a young woman who had the makings of a keen hunter. She would move silently through the surrounding forests. No track or twig break escaped her notice. Over the years, hide-and-seek victories became hunts and patrols. And as her skills grew, so did expectations. A defender of Edkin Beacon wears more than a wooden bead around her neck. It fits you well. But when more thoggy feet came stomping and scraping, Lula shakes off the story's unpleasant end. The next day brings bitter anticipation. Looks like they made a stand outside Edkin Beacon proper. Shirt snags and broken rake handles still around. They can't have been well armed. No petty piece of loot here. This should either be worn or buried. The necklace is sturdy, but Lula carries it like a broken-winged bird. Find something? Defender's necklace. Found in the wreckage of an ill-fated battle. Plus armor. I feel like, thematically, she would give that to Kaz. Kaz did give her that feather she's been toting for the past 20 years. Butler. All its movements are measured and soft, elegant, and ill-meaning. Batchby. Noisy as an anvil tossed down a stairwell. It rolls smoothly back to its feet at each stumble. 2 chunky mid-tier units. Butlers will create hostile auras and heal nearby allies. Oh my. Alright. Sommelier and Spectix are no big deal. Again, they're the basic cannon fodder, range, and melee units of the more thoggy faction. The Batchby and the Watchman are the mid-tier heavy hitters. And then the Butler is support. Ooh, welding. That's a magic-based area attacker. So unless you've got warding to spare, those are generally going to be a priority target. Batch B down. We'll see if Batch C fares any better. Yeah, the Morthagi are the focus of the second main campaign, the Enduring War, which I think we are going to do. I am less certain about the campaigns after that, but we'll see how it goes. Nice. Watchman down. That just leaves the butler. Ooh, Wolf Call would be nice. So would Bard. But, given that we've already saddled him with Broadswipe, I think we'll get the most mileage out of this one. The longer his reach, the more enemies he'll tag. Snakestone Belt, plus dodge. We'll toss that to Trip. The Morthagi are smashed apart. Battles led them down a boulderous roam, where gray grass matches the cloud color. Someone doing dragon pictures? Hey, Trip. Old Triphoppenskip, the trail walker. You badly hurt? So, what's your favorite monster? Oh, I'd say the Mulkmorrow creature. Up all night crafting quartz out of moonbeams. Gotta be a classic, like the Kraken, 800 arms and a wise-eyed face, strength to move the continents. Those answers are fine, but some of us will always love a dragon. Dragons glide on that line between the imaginary and the real. To me, it's the great example of how a thing becomes so fully realized through thought that it is real, in all but the final and most mundane details. Can't wait until we're around a fire. The stories will soar. I think the 5th story campaign actually does feature a dragon. Alright, let's get Ghislaine on his thing. Then we'll have the rest of our guys just secure and lock down this quadrant. One misty fall night. 2 friends walked these woods. On a poorly planned patrol. How do you always get us lost? And why do I always end up trusting you? I know better. Not lost. Look, it's still the forest. Anyway, I have a hard time believing you'd navigate any better, so... Yeah. Guess that's fair. Look, just shout if you think there's going to be trouble. 'Cause I can't see a... Excuse me. Can't see a thing, but... Oh, this is a grim one, but... Yeah, let's do it. Well, if Lula's the one who's gone missing, then I suppose it's Kaz who'd go looking for her. I mean, it does also make sense for Drakiith to be looking for Ghislaine, given that it's his daughter. But, I'm not sure she can handle this. You know what, we'll just have Rhett go. Warriors get bonuses on building defenses, so... No, wait. Rhett has wisdom, so he'll make all this stuff go faster. Yeah, we'll do Kaz. Ghislaine wakes in a world of starless night, stifled with odors, earth, time, loneliness. Where am I? Am I blind? Am I alone? Ghislaine? Oh, thank all gods, you're awake. A flame flares. Lula carefully sets down a small copper lamp. The shock of the light is its own kind of blindness. As Ghislaine's eyes adjust, he sees the prison that surrounds them. Earthen walls, crude bars of barely shorn bows. What happened? I remember being in the woods, and then a cultist plucked us up like a pair of grubs. Left us with this lamp and a little oil. I guess they planned to let us waste away? Not sure what else. It's a morbid, slow sentence. Leave us light to starve by. Yeah. Well, the bars are wood, so... Tried it. You tried the... I've never seen wood like this. Only explanation is, enchantment? Old abiding magic of some kind. Can't cut it, can't batter it down, can't slip between the things. The lamp flame won't burn it. And I guess these earth walls? That's all I can think of is to dig. But without food, doubt we'll get anywhere. Yeah. But our captors, do they come by? Have they... At least once while I was awake. I slept some. Don't know how long. How are you doing? Have you been alright? I'm mostly fine. You've been out, and that's really what I was worried about. Well, and then part of me's sort of excited. Is that stupid? Like we've been given a challenge, and there's nothing to eat? Not making a lot of sense there, Ghislaine. Hey, Ellie. No, heroism can only support the heart for so long. Seems like we won't be fed. Fine, okay. Any other prisoners, or just us? No one else. Unless you want to count this ancient abomination. It's nestled there like the body of a brass pillbug, joints crusted with dry earth. A device of the old mortificers, mostly intact, but clearly lacking the spark of animation. Don't worry though, just some old broken bonematon. Long time since it's been working. But this is not nothing. Look at its hands. Did they plant this here? It looks like it hasn't moved in forever. I'm getting a scary plan. Minutes bleed to hours, coagulate into unguessable chunks. Nights, days, dreary, hungry. Ghislaine keeps studying the broken thing in the corner, gripped by a feeling he can't shake. Lula often glances doleful and curious back at Ghislaine, then tries to imagine how a story hero would escape. Eventually, she comes to a conclusion. Fairly simple, but... You want to talk? Think I have something. Yeah? Well, my idea's not advanced, but it might work. So, here it is. We play dead. Very convincingly. They have to check on us, right? So when they come in to examine our corpses, we jump them. I could almost see that working, yeah. As long as they care to remove us in a timely fashion. Which, I don't know. Here's what I'm thinking. Look at this old thing's shovel hands. If we can repair it, we have a tool to dig us out. Forces them to either intervene or let us go. Repairing it, the more I think on it, shouldn't be much harder than replacing where the old sinew and it's rotted away, and feeding blood into its system. What? I'm suggesting you cut off my left arm, and we use the tissues to get this old creature working. Then it digs us out. Yeah, I'm not crazy about lopping off limbs unless we absolutely have to. And given that Lula's plan actually has an 86% chance of working, I think we'll just go with that one. But, you know, we'll keep the whole disarming thing in reserve just in case. They fall into dead positions and go still. They let the lamp burn high. The oil ends, the light dims and fails. As agreed from the outset, they lie motionless as possible, shallowing their breaths. They don't speak, don't shift. Who knows how closely they're being watched? The weight is excruciating. Empty bellies seem to howl, shriek, echo. The inclination to fall asleep grows powerful, spells doom. Hips, spines, shoulders ache and stiffen and bruise. Is anyone watching? Will anyone come for them? The last trial of silence bites hardest. Surely their bodies will betray the ruse. They try not to tense, holding their breaths. With a grunt, one cultist ties a tuft of purple moss to the bars, then lights it with flint and sword. Flaring up, the moss blazes amid smoke that smells like scorched olives. These unnatural flames burn a portal in the mystic prison. Ghislaine and Lula try to leap up in a rush. Now, Ghislaine! Their muscles resist, malnourished and abused. They rise wobbling, but brave-faced. Before they can charge, however, one of their captors cuts down the other and sheds his costume. Easy as a wounded calf. I knew you'd find me, my Kaz. How'd you do it? Talk later. They're matrons at the end of this tunnel. Weary and free, Ghislaine and Lula follow Kaz to carve a way home. Nausea and stoicism. That's a fair trade-off. And it is one Merc Mother. Okay, yeah, we're in good shape. See, I was leery about using Drakiith because I am familiar with this event, and it can easily go south. It all comes down to that die roll when you're playing dead. If it fails, the third person still ends up rescuing the first two, but the first two are in terrible condition, which makes this battle much more fraught with peril. It just felt much safer having a veteran as backup. Okay. Let's upgrade Ambush. Throwing Net. Not something I normally use. But it can potentially come in handy. We'll give it to Lula. She now has 2 ways to keep enemies at bay. Think we'll be clear from this point on. Lucky it's day. Sun's just past those trees. Sunlight. No one knew where you'd gone. Followed a hunch, and well, because I'd heard of this abandoned mine out here. The day waiting them is high and bright. The scent of dry, shivering grass hangs in the winter breeze. Down there a while before I figured out a plan, though. Pretty solid work, Kaz. I'm impressed. And I'm alive to be. Lucky you love me, Kaz. Sorry, and again, thank you. Days later, they'll reach home in buzzing sunset. A warm hour they'll share with cicadas and the road. I swear, the places I've got to pull you out of. Try not to get caught like that next time. It's embarrassing. Think it'll be a while before I can stand to spend the day under a roof. Yeah, I think we both earned a little time. Don't be afraid to take it. Hey. Right off the bat, my eye is drawn to Broadswipe Plus. Upgrading Broadswipe means more damage on adjacent enemies during his various attacks. Though I will say, Battle Dance is very tempting. Then again, he's not really set up for it, so that would be kind of a waste. Yeah, Battle Dance is something that would be better, I think, on a character like Kaz. Someone who's got reach, or is at least fairly mobile. Ghislaine's more of a defense is the best offense kind of guy. We will get to do some slight respecs as we carry them over into future campaigns. Anyway, we are past time, and I think we're at a pretty good stopping point. We've only got 4 territories left to explore. Plus we've got these various other tiles to secure and whatnot, but I'm not sure how much of that we'll actually end up doing. We do need to move relatively quickly before everything floods. That said, we will hit the pause button for now, but we will pick up here next time, as the Age of Ulstryx potentially concludes. See you then. Oh, and remember, although I do love playing Wildermyth, you can find out more about the game by visiting the official website, the official social media feeds, or the official store pages. And if you'd like to help support the channel, then feel free to push the buttons that do the things, or maybe even check out the Patreon. Links are in the description.